Come on! Shoot the ball! I spent a lot of money on this bracket! Hello, and welcome to the third episode of Drinking with Class. I am your host, new best friend, and class consultant, Ryan Fogarty. Now, before we get started here on the third episode of Drinking with Class, I'd just like to take a moment and thank all our followers on Twitter and everyone who viewed the first two episodes. I'm enjoying what I'm doing right here, and I'm glad to see that you guys are enjoying it so far. And now, back to business. As we've done on the first two episodes, our first segment is going to be the Beer of the Week. It just so happens that this week's Beer of the Week is Newcastle. Now, I wouldn't pick just any Beer of the Week. As I did in episodes 1 and 2, I'm going to give you a quick little backstory. My freshman year of college, me and my college roommate got in the spirit of Halloween. I was Batman, he was Superman. And if you can picture two grown men walking around in a Batman and Superman costume, both designed for children, around a college campus, a little inebriated. My drink of choice that day was Newcastle. And while I'll spare you all the details, let's just say I haven't had a Newcastle since. Anyway, our Beer of the Week is Newcastle, and what always goes along with the Beer of the Week? That's a creative way to open this beer. And this week, I'm sure everyone, you go to a party, they're gonna have some silverware. You don't have a beer opener? Boom. You got a spoon? Bottle open. And remember, if you have Twitter, follow us at Drink With Class and subscribe to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/drinkingwithclass. Now, if you follow us on Twitter and subscribe to us on YouTube, you're going to have all the latest updates on new episodes and basically everything to do with Drinking with Class. For our next segment, we're going to introduce a completely brand new concept. Drinking with Class, we pride ourselves being on the cutting edge of technology. And to the best of my recollection, we've never done this in the history of Drinking with Class. And it's probably never been done in the history of the internet. The segment, Unclassy Moment of the Week. We all have our unclassy moments. It happens to the best of us. So once we came up with the title and the idea, the last step was to find an unclassy reporter in the field. We scoured the globe. Literally millions of people turned out. I know, you're probably as amazed as I was. After all the auditions, after we screened everyone, we came up with the perfect unclassy reporter in the field. So please enjoy this brand new segment, Unclassy Moment of the Week. Take it away, Adam.
Thanks, Ryan. Adam Bernardino here with Neil Cowett for our first ever Unclassy Moment of the Week. Now, sir, can you tell me on what happened on the 3rd? The 3rd of March of 2012. Can you tell me what happened then?
Well, Adam, me and my friends went down to URI, we went to Charlie O's, we got a couple of pitches, we went back to a friend's house. So we're playing some serious drinking games here. I mean, this is a lot of chugging a beer. I had a pretty big dinner that night. So, you get to that point, you got just too much beer down there, you're just trying to burp it up and it's just not coming up. So, I got a little backed up.
Hold on a second. What do you mean when you say backed up?
It's pretty easy, you get down there, you got too much carbonation just sitting in the pit of your stomach. The gases, they just want to come out, but they're just not happening. I was really trying, and it just wasn't gonna work that night. So, just threw up in my hands.
You guys hear that? Brian, this kid threw up in his hands. You heard it here first. Back to you.
Well, thanks, Adam. That was definitely an interesting piece of reporting. Unfortunately, you'll probably be seeing more of that man in later episodes of Drinking with Class. Sure is unclassy. Anyway, back to business. For our third and final segment, here on episode 3 of Drinking with Class, it's going to be the Drink of the Week. Now, if you remember way back to episode 1, our third and final segment was also the Drink of the Week, and we gave Drinking with Class's version of a dirty martini. This episode will be no different. I'm sure everyone out there has had a rum and coke, but I bet no one out there has had a rum castle. And if you're asking yourself, what's a rum castle? I'm going to tell you right now. Get out my cup. First, add ice. And the second ingredient in a rum castle is Don Q Cristal White Rum. Delicious. Pretty much the best bang for your buck. Pretty inexpensive. So what we're going to do here is add a little rum. All right, and then we're going to add a little more rum. And put that to the side over here. Now our second ingredient in a rum castle is going to be Coke Zero. All right. All the taste for Coke, 0 calories. Add a little bit of Coke here. And our third and final ingredient, which basically is the only difference between a rum and Coke and a rum castle, is our beer of the week, Newcastle. Open this up for you. Boom. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? Just a little bit of Newcastle. And if you're gonna make this drink at home, don't use a shaker because the carbonation from the beer and the soda is gonna make it go all over the place, all right? So you do a little dipsy-do there and enjoy. That'll do it for episode 3 of Drinking with Class. Thank you for tuning in as always. To end the show, I'd like to thank my guests, Don Q Cristal Light Rum, Coke Zero, Newcastle Beer, the movie Ted, starring the greatest actor who ever lived, Mark Wahlberg, and unfortunately, the newest member to Drinking with Class, the man who will probably haunt your dreams, our unclassy reporter in the field, Adam Bernardino. Remember, follow us at Drink with Class on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/drinkingwithclass. And stay tuned next week. If the date March 22nd doesn't ring a bell, it will next week. That's going to be our special Prohibition edition of Drinking with Class. Prohibition edition, that rhymes. But anyway, thank you for tuning in as always. I'm going to take my rum castle and I'm going to go enjoy the rest of March Madness. I'm Ryan Fogarty. Stay classy.